When I head up to Derry for a little tale of two farmers. Fado, fado. It's a tough time, sure enough, for farmers during and after the plantation of Ulster. They were used to reaping this rich harvest of the fertile plains around McGilligan and the banks of the Foyle as it headed out to the North Sea. But all that was taken away from them. Ownership around those parts is fierce. Land, a house, an animal, even something smaller. The old expression, what I have, I hold, still rings true. Maybe all the history still in their minds. Even the best of friends and families could fall out over something wee. You're going to meet Ned. Ned lived up in the countryside, halfway up a hill on a wee farm, scratching a living for poor land, enough to feed his wife and his wains. Hadn't he a cow and a flock of sheep? Sure, that was all he needed to get by anyway. His closest neighbour, James, they'd grown old together, best friends since childhood. They shared everything in life together. But, they'd still bicker from time to time. Like one time, they fought over a stray lamb. Neither one of them even needed it. It was on James's land, but Ned was adamant it was his. It wasn't trying to get back to his mother on his land. The ewe was equally stressed. It's mine, shouted Ned. Ah, come on, it belongs to me, James shouted back. And they got really riled up, bad-tempered. They argued for a while. Sure, they were both stubborn as anything anyway. Neither of them were going to give in. They didn't come to blows, not at their age. They just stormed home, slammed the doors shut. They never spoke again. Stubbornness, A couple of months passed. They still hadn't spoken. They were both lonely, but, they were still angry. One morning, a knock came to Ned's door. He wondered if this was the apology he was expecting from Jimmy. He opened the door, and it was a young man looking back at him. He introduced himself as a carpenter. He had a toolbox at his feet. He looked respectable enough now. Looking for a bit of work. Have you any jobs that need done? I'd be happy to help out around here, says he. Ned pondered for a bit. Aye, do you see the house over the hill? Aye, well that's the neighbour. Do you see that wee stream running along there? That's our property line. But you see, that stream, that wasn't there last week. Watched him dig it into the ditch himself, so now that stream of water separates us. Here, look, I've got all the wood that you'll ever need over there in the barn. Enough for a fence. Now, I want a tall fence all along that stream, so I never have to look at that man's house again. He's my heart scalded, you see, and I'll teach him. Oh, grand, so, says the carpenter. I'll do a good job, he said after work. Ned headed off to Derry for the day and expected to see something done by the time he got back. Ned did return. He couldn't speak. He looked out at what he thought was going to be the big tall fence, and it wasn't there at all. Instead, he was looking at this beautiful footbridge over his side of the stream to the other. Just then, James came out with a sheep by his side. Ah, here, look, Ned, this lamb's yours, I don't know what got over me. Sure, it's quiet enough around here, around these parts, you know yourself. I saw that bridge, I thought, sure, look, that's the wee push I needed, Ned was feeling a bit sheepish here. Look, that wasn't even me, that bridge. That was a young one's idea. I was in Derry the whole day. But Ned and James got talking for a bit anyway. The carpenter packed up. Ned spotted him. He shouted, here, what I owe you? No, you've already paid me. He's like, here, look, there's work on both of our farms here, plenty be going round. You could be here for a good while, What would you take? He was, nah, lads, you're grand. I've plenty more bridges to build. And with that, he walked down the lane, whistled a nice wee tune.